Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, welcome to my lesson. And today is the special day for me because we are officially starting our journey to financial freedom. As you see, this is our lesson. This is the foundation of financial freedom, building a secure future step by step. In this lesson, we will have 5 parts. One of them is the definition of financial independence. This is what we will talk about today in this lesson, in this video. And we will have other 4 parts. The battle of the brain, needs and wants, the money mindset, what is consumer, what is owner, systems of financial growth, and at last, we will have some practical application and interactive workshop. As you see, we will start from part 1 today. We have 3 subparts. One of them is Introduction to Financial Literacy. We will talk about why schools don't teach money. The second is difference between rich and wealthy and difference between high income and high net worth. And we will of course talk about the invisible wealth concept. And finally, we will speak about your financial number. We will define your financial freedom and what is the safe withdrawal rate, 4% withdrawal rate we have. And what is this? We will speak about it. And we will calculate, as I promised last lesson, we will calculate your financial number, guys. So if you are ready, I'm also ready. And I want to start. So hello again, guys. Today is a special day because we are gonna talk about something your school, your high school, and even your university probably never talked about: money. Let's be honest. You spent 10, 15, or maybe 20 years in school, right? You learned about the geography, you learned about the history of ancient kings or something else. But did any teacher sit down with you and say, this is how you pay taxes, this is how you grow your savings, or this is how a bank loan works? Usually the answer is no. Why? Why does the education system ignore the most important tool in our daily life? Today, in this first part of our lesson, we are going to answer this question. We are going to understand why financial literacy is missing piece of the puzzle in our lives. Let's talk about the 3 reasons why schools fail us. There are 3 main reasons why we don't learn about money in school. Let's look at them together. One of them is the good employee factory, as you see. The modern school system was created 100 or 150 years ago. The goal was to create good workers and good employees for factories and offices. Factories don't need you to be a billionaire. They need you to show up at 9 a.m. and to leave at 6 p.m. They teach you to follow instructions, but not to build your own financial empire. School prepares you for a job, but it doesn't prepare you for your wealthy life. The second reason is taboo, the taboo of money. In many cultures, money is a dirty topic. People think talking about money is rude or greedy. Teachers often believe that education should only be about high things like literature or science, physics. They think money is for business people only, not for us. But the truth is, everyone uses money every day. If you don't talk about it, you can't master it. And the third reason, this is the complexity myth. The financial world wants you to believe that money is very complicated. They use big words like macroeconomics, amortization, diversification, and so on. Schools think this is too hard for students. But I have a secret for you guys. Financial freedom is simple math. It is about in and out. Just in and out. If more comes than goes out, you win. Schools make it look like a mountain, but it is actually just a staircase. And let's have a little discussion and interaction with you. I want to ask you a question, guys. Think about your years in school. What was the most useless thing you learned? Maybe the names of 50 types of leaves or a math formula you never used. Now imagine if your teacher gave you a bank account with $1,000 when you were 15 years old and said, if you manage this correctly, you will have $100,000 by the time you are 30. Which lesson is more important for your daily life today? The names of the leaves or the $100,000? The problem is that without financial literacy, you can earn a lot of money as a doctor, as an engineer, as a teacher, but you will still be broke at the end of the month. Why? because you know how to earn money, but you don't know how to manage, how to grow, or how to protect it. This course is here to fix that mistake, guys. Let's conclude. Let's conclude the 1.1 part, subpart. To finish this first part, don't blame your teachers. Don't blame your parents. They probably didn't know about money either. Their teachers didn't teach them. It is a cycle of not knowing, but today you are breaking that cycle. You are here to learn the secret language of the wealthy. We are gonna stop being victims of the system and start being the owners of our future. Are you ready to move the next part? Are you ready to move to 1.2? We'll talk about what financial freedom actually looks like in real life. But firstly, we have a little key vocabulary for this boat. As you see, we have some words that we used. One of them is financial literacy. I'm going to define them for you. It is knowing how money works. Tax, it is money you pay to the government. Broke, to be broke, it is having no money. Employee, it is someone who works for the company. Taboo, it is something people don't talk about it because it is forbidden. Sometimes they're scared of it. Ancient, very, very old, like the history they teach in school. And wealth, it is not just money, but having assets and time. Let's keep going. On the next part, we will speak about the difference between rich and wealthy, between high income and high net worth, and of course, the invisible wealth concept, guys. Now, class, let's talk about a very common mistake. Most people use the word rich and wealthy as the same thing. They think if he has a big house, if he has a gold watch, he's wealthy. But I have a surprise for you. In the world of money, these two words are very, very different. They are not the same at all. Imagine two people, a person A and person B. Person A is a famous doctor. He earns $20,000 every month. He drives a brand new Ferrari, as you see. He lives in a luxury villa, but every month he spends $21,000. He has $100,000 in credit card debt. But what about person B? He's a simple office worker. He earns $2,000 every month. He drives a 10-year-old Toyota. He lives in a small, clean apartment, but every month he saves $500 and buys stocks, or for example, gold. And he has $50,000 in the bank and no debt. Who is rich, guys? Person A looks rich, but who is wealthy? Person B is the one building wealth. But why? Because if person A stops working tomorrow, he is in a disaster. He has a high income but zero net worth. If person B stops working, he can live for years on his savings. This is the first lesson of the rich and wealthy battle. And now let's talk about high income and high net worth. To understand this, we need to learn a new term, net worth. Net worth is a simple formula. Everything you own minus everything you owe. Everything you have minus everything you owe. Income is the money that flows into your pocket today. It is like a river. If the river stops, you have no water. But net worth is the water in your tank. Even if the river stops, you still have water to drink. Many people have a high income but a negative net worth. They are income rich but balance sheet poor. Balance sheet poor. They work 80 hours a week just to pay for their expensive lifestyle. They are not owners. They are prisoners of their own salary. Wealthy people don't care about looking rich. They care about their net worth growing every single year. And this brings us to a very interesting concept. Invisible wealth. It is true wealth. True wealth is what you don't see. Wealth is the expensive car you didn't buy. If you are rich, you bought it, you have it. But wealth is the expensive car you didn't buy. It is the first class ticket you didn't take. It is the 2000 watch that is still in the store. Wealth is the money that you keep and invest. When you see someone driving $100,000 car, you only know one thing about their money. They have $100,000 less than they had before they bought the car. You don't know if they are rich, you only know they are spending. Wealth is invisible because it sits in bank accounts, in stocks, in properties, and in businesses. Wealth is the power to say no to a job you hate. Wealth is the silence of not needing to show off. As the saying goes, money screams, but wealth whispers. Let's have a little class activity. The Guess the Millionaire game. Imagine two men standing in front of you. One is wearing a Gucci suit, a Rolex watch, and smells like expensive perfume. The other is wearing a plain gray t-shirt or plain black t-shirt like me, blue jeans, and simple sneakers. Which one is the millionaire? In real life, many millionaires don't look like the second man. Have you heard of Warren Buffett? He is one of the richest men in history, but he lives in the same house he bought in 1958. He drives a simple car. He doesn't need to show his wealth because he is wealthy, real wealthy. The man in the Gucci might be a millionaire, or he might be someone who spends his whole salary to look like one. Which one do you want to be? The person who looks rich or the person who is wealthy? So, your goal on this road to financial freedom is not to have a big salary. Your goal is to have a big net worth. If you earn $1,000 and save $200, you are doing better than someone who earns $10,000 and saves zero. Remember, it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. And next, we're gonna talk about the number, how much net worth do you actually need to be free forever. But before, we of course have key vocabulary for the boat. We have some new words here. High income, it is earning a lot of money every month. Net worth, it is your total value. So your assets minus your debts. Debt, it is money that you owe to someone else, or maybe the bank or a friend. Invisible, it is something you cannot see. To show off, it is trying to impress people with your things. And balance sheet, it is a document showing what you own and what you owe. And the last word is luxury. It is very expensive and not necessary. Okay, class, we know that what wealthy means. We know we want to be free. But now I have a very practical question for you. How much money do you actually need to stop working forever? Is it $1 million? Is it 10 million or maybe just 500,000? Most people have no idea. They just say, I want a lot of money. But a lot is not a plan. A lot is not a goal. Today we are gonna calculate your freedom number. This is the exact amount of money you need in your net worth, I mean your tank, so that you can live off the interest forever. You will never need a boss again. In the world of finance, guys, there is a famous rule called the 4% rule. Experts call this the safe withdrawal rate. Imagine you have a big pot of money invested in the stock market or property. Usually this money grows by about 7% to 10% every year. If you take out 4% of that money every year to pay for your life, the pot of your money will never disappear, right? Why? Because the money grows faster than you spend it. Think of it like a golden goose. The goose gives you golden eggs. If you eat the eggs, you are fine, you are okay. But if you kill the goose, I mean you spent the main money, you have nothing left. The 4% rule tells us exactly how many eggs we can eat without killing the goose. Calculating your financial freedom number is not difficult, guys. Now, let's do some simple math. How do we find your freedom number? It's really easy. First, think how much money do you need every month to live happily? Let's say $1,000. We will multiply that $1,000 by 12 months. So $1,000 multiplied 12, it is $12,000 per year, right? This is your annual expense. Now we will multiply your annual expense by 25. So we will multiply your $12,000 by 25 and it equals $300,000. $300,000 is your freedom number, guys. If you have 300,000 invested and you take 4% every year, you get $12,000 annually and you can pay your bills forever. You are free. If your life is more expensive, maybe you need $2,000 a month or $5,000 a month, then your number will be, of course, different. But the rule is simple, guys. Annual expenses multiple by 25. And let's have a little class activity. And now it is your turn. I want everyone to write down the dream monthly budget, but be realistic. Write down this. How much for rent, how much for food, how much for travel. Write the total monthly number. Now multiply it by 12 and then multiply it by 25 and look at the number. That is not just a number, guys. That is the price of your freedom. Does it look big? Maybe yes, but now you have a target. You are not walking in the dark anymore. You are with me, you are in my lesson, and you are a runner looking at the finish line. Let's conclude. Most people think financial freedom is impossible, but look at your paper, guys. Is $300,000 or maybe $500,000 impossible? Maybe they look, but actually no. If you save and invest every month, you will hit the target. It might take 10 years, it might take 20 years. It doesn't matter, but you have a map now. And in the next part, we're gonna look at the needs and wants battle again. Why? Because if you reduce your wants, your freedom number becomes smaller and you reach freedom much faster. It becomes closer. But this is our part 2. We will speak about this in our next lesson, next video. And let's have a look at our key vocabulary for the boat. As you see, we have some new words. Withdrawal, it is taking money out of an account. Annual is happening once every year. Yearly. What is target? Target is a goal you want to hit. Safe, it is not dangerous, protected. Expenses, the money you spend on bills, food, travel, etc. The last word is interest. It is the extra money your investment earns. That's it, guys. See you next Sunday in our part 2 of the lesson 1. Bye for now. Have a good day.